Hey, it's Les Chap. I know I haven't done any Minecraft videos in a while, but I just found this ridiculously overpowered thing in the mid-game of Minecraft 1.12. I am playing FTB Revelations version 1.8 for Minecraft 1.12.2, but this should work in any pack that has CareerBees 0.4, possibly 0.2, but yeah, it's all focused around this energy bee. Um, why I call this a mid-game build? Because you'll need a few things. You'll need to be able to get end flowers. That's the dragon egg or the chorus flower. In FTB Revelation, the only way I can find to do that is to go to the end and kill the ender dragon. So, yeah, you'll need to kill the ender dragon. You'll need to go to the nether, get some nether bees and nether flowers. That's the nether wart. You'll need to be able to find a villager tier 3 trade for monostatic drones. Uh, Not too hard to find, not too hard to unlock. You'll just need some emeralds to, you know, level up your villager trade. Make sure you find the apiarist villager. You'll need a gendustry setup or some other way to pull traits off bees and push them into other bees. I prefer gendustry because it's only requires bronze and some other basic vanilla resources. You'll need a sampler and imprinter from them if you use the gendustry setup. Extra bees will do the same way. If you really want to, you can probably try to breed it up just right, but that would be very difficult in my opinion. You also need to make an alveary from Forestry. That's the 3x3x4 Forestry bee house. Um, while you're breeding up the energy bee, I also suggest you breed up the robot bee. It's like 2 more evolutions up the chain. Um, Fairly easy to get, and it will give you a ridiculous modifier. Because we'll come over here. There's the speed, there's the modifier in the code for that speed, and for the energy bee, the base RF a tick you'll get. And that's calculated by 400 times, and you put this all in parentheses, the modifier. So if you had a normal bee, that would be 1, times the housing speed, each house type, the bee house, the apiary, the industrial apiary, and the alveary has a housing speed, and you square that together. So as you can see, it's a little exponential. Um, as for the housing speed modifiers, you have the bee house. You can't automate it, but it has a 0.25 modifier. The apiary from forestry has a 0.1. The industrial apiary from gendustry has a 1.0, and the alveary from forestry, which is the multi-block, is a 1.0 modifier. So when you put that into this with a housing speed, assuming a housing speed of 1, this is your base RF a tick. Industrial apiaries do upgrades a little bit differently, and this is average rounded. I didn't actually do the math, but if you have 0 upgrades, you'll have the 2500 RF a tick. If you put up a full 8 upgrades, you'll get 46,000 roughly RF a tick from that one being an industrial apiary. And it only costs you about 100 RF a tick to run. So pretty good there. But there's a better way. Frames. You can have frames in your alveary multi-block from forestry, and you can put like 16 frames in and out alveary. The problem is if you go over the int cap, which it's all technical knowledge, but basically if you go over 2.14 billion RF a tick, the bee breaks and doesn't give you any power. So 400 times the speed modifier times the housing speed, so 1, times frame mods. So every frame is 2 squared. So if you have 1 frame, that's 2. If you have 2 frames, that's 4. If you have 3 frames, that's 2 times 2 times 2, or 8. So it's kind of exponential there. And as you can see, different speeds have different modifiers. And this is the chart. If you give it a robotic speed, you can make 655 million RF a tick. If you get the blinding or normal speed, it maxes out at 1.6 billion. And 1.6 billion, that is more than the Draconic Evolution Reactor. So, and that's controlling the reactor at the edge of blowing up with a computer. So if the computer crashes, your world blows up. Yeah, ridiculously overpowered. Set the time of the day. So I'm going to show you the build real quick that I made. I have an apiary here. I have 9 frames going into it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. that will give me on robotic, the max speed. One other thing you're going to need is an internal frame. This internal frame makes production 0x, but if you're using a CareerBee, that does not count effects. So it still produces RF, and it makes it so the bee lasts forever. The bee will never die in here. The problem is, in order to get the eternal frame, you need the yin and yang essences and a proven frame. Proven frame is also another villager trade. It's only a tier 2, so if you get the monostatic drones, you should be able to get this. The yin and yang essences are from Quantum Charming and the Quantum Strange Bees from CareerBees. In order to get these, you'll need the Mad Scientist, which isn't too hard to get. Pretty much the same thing as getting the Robot Bee. Industrious, which you'll need if you want to make the Alveary. And the Phantasmal Bee. And this is where you need the end flowers. So, ender flowers, spectral flowers, or bees. Sorry, not flowers. And the monostatic drone right here. You will need that in order to get this eternal frame. And this eternal frame is crucial to making sure this bee never dies and produces constant power. Other traits that will be useful, effect none, speed robotic. I like giving him Rock's Flower because that just means I put a piece of cobblestone down, single block. Never sleeps, tolerates rain, and cave dwelling. That lets them operate anywhere in the world that you can put them. I put it in this compact machine because this compact machine is plains biome, which is normal. If you put it in another biome, you may need to give it upgrades to tolerances for humidity and temperature. But that's just to be aware there. In order to make all these frames, I'm using magic frames because they were easy to make, cheap to make. And let me find it. Magic frames. There's magic wax and an untreated frame. Untreated frames are just string and wood, or string and sticks. Magic wax, many things can get you magic wax. 4 pages of combs here, but you'll need a way to process that. So in order to get all this, I decided to stick with bees. You need a natural grown tree, and I made a lumbering queen from CareerBees that will give these lumber barks. 4 of these in a 2x2 grid will get you a log, and then 2 logs and a thing will get you the sticks. To get string, I decided to use the spidery queen here, and as I see, gives you more string than you need. Put that in this tier 2 crafter from RF Tools. Any auto crafting thing will work. That makes the untreated frame, and then you have the magic frame, which you need the wax. I decided to go with the mysterious queen, which, as you can see, has about 20% to make an occult comb, and the occult comb has a 100% chance to make wax. And it is keeping up with this system. Barely, but keeping up with making 9. It will go up to 15. You can make all 15 frames and hold stock 15. But as you saw on the chart on the other world, most you're going to need is like 13 in order to max out even the slowest speed energy bee. So I used industrial apiaries because they're easy to automate, just need power and this automation upgrade. I use a centrifugal separator. This is what processes my combs into the wax, and everything else is done here. I have a trash can for overflow just in case, and I am using Xnet to move everything around. So, channel 1, this gives me my energy. Channel 2 takes all the stuff out of the apiaries and puts them where they belong. So, the tree bark and the string go in the crafter, the comb goes in the centrifuge, and then all the extra bulk, the stuff I don't need, goes in the trash can to keep my system clean. I have another channel here This one processes the magic wax, takes the magic wax out of the centrifuge, puts it in the crafter, and empties out my trash can. Or puts the stuff I don't need, the honey drops, in the trash can. This one is my stalker. It takes magic frames out of the crafter and puts them in all the frames. And as you see, I have 16 frames, but I'm only using 9 of them. You have one last thing here. This is the flux point from the Flux Networks. This was the best way I found to transfer power in this pack, because it will reach the end cap of 2.14 billion as long as you selected NOR limit true. And just to prove that I am reaching my end cap here, 6.55 million RF a tick, just like the thing said for using 9 frames. If I take this normal queen here, put this normal queen in, we are going to add a few more, 10, 11, how many was it again for normal? 11. So I just added 2 more frames to be filled in here, and if we go back over here, the 1.68 billion RF a tick. You can tweak this more. There's some frames that don't give a 2x modifier. They give like a 1.5 or 1.2. They get close to the end cap, but 1.6 billion, that's more than Draconic Evolution, and you're never going to use that much power. And if you really need more power, just set up another apiary. That is the build. You can modify it as it seems. Rain, and it turned to night on me. So, awesome build. And as I was saying, if you needed more, all you have to do is set up a second alveary system. Right, here's 2 side by side. I used Creative Chest just because I didn't want to set up the automation for crafting the stuff, but that would be easy enough to do. All you're doing is expanding the setup in the last room. And let's see, this is on test 1. And this is the setup that I have for here we are. Inputting. .35. That G is error. That's actually the billion RF a tick. So here's a tier 4 energy core, or tier 8 energy core from Draconic Evolution, and you can see how fast it's filling. You will never use that much power. Hope that build helped you out. Mid-game build because it requires some resources, some infrastructure setup, but you can get it done without having automated miners or anything like that. I did in my survival world. I don't have a quarry. I don't have auto processing set up. Very fast. Anyways, one last look at the chart. As I've shown you, the speed, normal is the best. You will get normal from, I believe it's the Majestic Bee, breeding up to an energy bee. Blinding is also available, or same power. It will give you 1 less frame requirement, and but it's hard to find. It's a hard trait to get up to because only 1 bee has it, and it's deep in a breeding tree that you're probably not going to use. Robotic's really easy to get to because it's 2 breedings past the energy bee, 2 mutations, and it will give you the 655 million, which is more than enough, and it will be really easy earlier mid-game before you expand and need more power to set up. So, enjoy the build, do whatever you need, and that's it for me.